Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Ox Talks. It's Friday, February 2nd, 2024. Hope you're having a good, productive day today, wrapping up the work week. Thank you for taking time to watch the video again today. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. If you haven't done so, please subscribe and continue to hit the thumbs up button and the bell notification as well. Let's plaster these videos with as many people as you can, friends, colleagues, loved ones, co-workers, and share on your social media, please, so we can continue to get the word out about what's happening really on a daily basis with the economy. We'll talk about some geopolitical issues going on as well around the world. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. The first story which I have to address today is the Bureau of Labor Statistics came out with the January, they call it the jobs report. And again, this is the government's data as opposed to the ADP data we saw Wednesday, and that was private payrolls. So the title of this article from The Hedge is January Jobs Shocker. Payrolls explode by 353,000, double the expected amount and higher than all estimates as wages surge. So if we are to believe this report and these statistics, jobs are growing at an incredibly fast pace, wages are growing, unemployment is falling. So I think we all have our own two eyes. We all have our own two ears, and we can see and hear, reading what is actually happening on a daily basis with the labor market across this country and with the rapid increase in layoffs and with people that are having to work several part-time jobs just to make ends meet. So I'll let you, use your own judgment and discretion in determining whether you believe this. Let me get into the article. It says, with Wall Street expecting continued declines in the pace of monthly jobs growth and consensus looking for a decline from last month's 219,000 print. Again, just to preface this, the expectations were for a decline and a further softening. It says it is reported that in January, the U.S. created a ridiculous 353,000 jobs, double the 185,000 expected, and higher than the highest forecast estimate, which was at 300,000. So it beat even the highest forecast. And you always have the outliers to the downside, and you have the outliers, the pie in the sky numbers to the upside across the gamut of these estimates. So these statistics actually beat the highest estimate by 53,000 jobs. It says what is notable once again. There was a huge dispersion between the establishment and the household surveys. The establishment being the BLS survey. And while the former indicated an increase of 353,000, the latter reported a drop in employment of 31,000. It says, while the U.S. allegedly added 353,000 jobs and the unemployment dropped by 31,000, full-time jobs, it says, actually declined by 63,000 and part-time jobs surged by 96,000. Talk about this. What are these jobs that they're saying are creation of new jobs? Are these part-time jobs? Are they hospitality and hotel and restaurant bartender type jobs? People having to piece together two or three of these just to make ends meet. All this stuff gets counted for the great data that they're reporting. It says the unemployment rate, according to this, also slipped, staying at 3.7% versus the expectations of an increase of 3.8%. It says more notable, and this is interesting, more notable was the sudden jump in wages, with the BLS reporting that average hourly earnings increase 0.6% from December and double the 0.3% estimated increase, rising 4.5% year on year and also blowing away estimates of a 4.1% increase. Let me ask you, are your wages going up? Comment below. Are you finding that your income levels are sufficient to meet the rising costs of everything right now in our economy? Insurance costs rising, food costs rising, insurance in terms of healthcare insurance, homeowners insurance, auto insurance, child care costs. All this stuff's going up across the board. So says this is not because of an actual wage increase. And this is interesting. They give the explanation. If you just read the articles, oh, wages are going up. But this article says it's not because of an actual wage increase, but because people literally worked less. The denominator in the average hourly earnings equation, as the average work week for all employees on private non-farm payrolls decreased by 0.2 hours to 34.1 hours in January, and is down by 0.5 hour over the year, down to the lowest level seen in the depths of the pandemic. So you have people working more part-time jobs. You have people working less of a work week. They're working less hours. And this also comes out and says that the December data talks about a 1.9 million plunge in native-born workers in the past 2 months. So then again, how many of these jobs are going to native-born workers and how many of them are going to foreign-born workers? This is not only has all job creation in the past 4 years been exclusively for foreign-born workers, there has been zero job creation for native-born workers since July of 2018, this says. So the title of the video is, they must think we're stupid, or do they think we're stupid? And I think that we have to understand that the smoke and mirrors continues. We are in an election year cycle, and the powers that be are going to do everything they possibly can to keep things appearing that they're good and that everything is going in a positive direction. So I'll move on to the next story for today, which I just saw in the last 20 minutes come out, and talks about U.S. now in the last couple hours has launched airstrikes at positions in Iraq and Syria. And the airstrikes are aimed at the Iranians' Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, Quds Force, and affiliated militia groups. So we have now another war on another front. And now we are coming closer to direct contact, conflict with Iran, to the extent that we're not already in that. It says the statement says U.S. Central Command said on Friday that the U.S. conducted airstrikes in Iraq and Syria against Iran's Revolutionary Guard and other militia groups. The statement says U.S. military forces struck more than 85 targets with numerous aircraft to include long-range bombers flown from the United States. The airstrikes employed more than 125 precision munitions. The facilities that were struck included command and control operations centers, intelligence centers, rockets, and missiles, and unmanned aerial vehicle storages and logistics and the munition supply chain facilities of militia groups and their IRGC sponsors, who facilitated attacks against U.S. and coalition forces. That was from, I believe, CNN earlier, and then Zero Hedge picks it up as well and says that the Biden administration is promising this is not the end of it, and the campaign could last for days or more. So again, we're going to have to see what the response, if any, is from Iran, and if this continues to ratchet up and become more escalated. It's interesting that it's not coincidental that they always wait until markets have closed, the stock markets have closed for a weekend to do these kind of things, because God forbid they have an impact on the stock market. By the way, the stock market rallied again today. It was interesting to me because the 10-year bond was up, I think, 16 basis points, closed back over 4% on the 10-year today, which put a pretty good amount of pressure on gold and silver. As those rates rise, gold and silver usually fall. The dollar, the USD dollar index, put on a substantial gain today as well. So we have the dollar up, the 10-year bond up, the stock market up, which normally that doesn't happen that way. Normally, if you have a 10-year running that aggressively, that fast, that's market negative. But the Wall Street continues to party on. So just keeping a watch on everything happening here. Have a busy weekend. I'm drafting a bunch of motions I have to get filed next week. Next week's going to be an extremely busy week here at the office. Arbitration on Tuesday, deposition on Thursday. I have to backfill time. So the videos may be a little bit sparse next week. I'll try to be consistent. Going to be leaving here in about an hour to go get my workout in. Hope all of you, again, do the same today. Get your steps in, get some cardio exercise done, do some strength training, whether it's push-ups, sit-ups, some pull-ups, some chin-ups. Start with a few reps and work your way up. Watch the diet, especially over the weekend. It's easy. I do it too. It's easy to have extra time around the house. Your schedule's not as full. It's easy to go and grab some of those chips or snacks. And that stuff adds up so quickly in calories. So we all need to be mindful of that. The diet's super important. Hope all of you have a great rest of your day today. And I will likely speak to all of you tomorrow. Bye.